On the edge of a quiet meadow where the tall grass whispered to the wind and the flowers swayed like dancers beneath the moonlight, a tiny firefly named Sparky lived with his family. He was no different from the other fireflies in appearance, a soft little body, delicate wings, and a tiny lantern at the end of his tail. But there was something unusual about him, something that weighed on his little heart. Sparky was afraid of the dark. It was strange, even to him, because fireflies were meant to light up the night. His brothers and sisters would joyfully fly into the fields when the stars came out, painting the meadow with sparks of gold. They laughed, played tag in the air, and used their glowing tails like little lanterns to show one another the way. But Sparky would hide in the hollow of an old oak tree, peeking out with wide eyes, trembling whenever the shadows stretched long and the night seemed endless. The truth was, whenever Sparky thought about leaving the safety of his hiding place, the dark seemed too big, too endless, and too scary. Even though he could glow, even though he had his own tiny light, the dark always felt stronger. He told himself, "My glow is too small. What if it disappears? What if I fly too far and never find my way home again?" So while the meadow came alive each evening with twinkling fireflies, Sparky stayed behind, wishing he could be like the others but unable to gather the courage. One night, while the air was cool and filled with the smell of blooming jasmine, Sparky sat alone at the entrance of the oak tree. His sister Luma fluttered over to him with her lantern shining bright.
"Sparky, aren't you coming out? The stars are beautiful tonight and the moon is full. We're playing hide and seek in the meadow."
Sparky lowered his head. "I can't, Luma, it's too dark. What if I get lost? What if something scary is out there?"
Luma tilted her head, puzzled. "But Sparky, that's why we glow. Our light helps us see. Your light is special too. Why hide it?"
Sparky forced a tiny smile, though it didn't last long. "My glow isn't special. It's small and weak. The dark always feels bigger than me."
Before Luma could reply, their mother called her back and she darted off into the meadow. Sparky sighed, curling his tiny legs beneath him, watching the other fireflies brighten the field like living stars. He wanted to join them, he really did, but fear kept him grounded. That night, as he tried to sleep, a strange sound echoed through the meadow. It wasn't the usual gentle hum of crickets or the rustle of leaves, it was more like a faint whimper, a cry for help. Sparky opened his eyes and sat up. He looked around the hollow, but his family was asleep. The sound came again, soft, desperate. His tiny heart thumped. "Someone's in trouble," he whispered. Fear and worry wrestled inside him. The dark still loomed outside, vast and frightening, but the cry tugged at him as if someone out there truly needed him. Gathering courage, Sparky let his glow flicker. A warm little light shone at the tip of his tail. "Just a peek," he told himself. "I'll just look, and then come back." He fluttered out of the oak tree, his glow cutting a faint path in the darkness. The meadow seemed different at night when he wasn't hiding. The grass waved gently, silver in the moonlight, and the stars glittered above. Shadows stretched everywhere and Sparky's wings trembled, but he kept moving toward the sound. Soon, under a clump of tall wildflowers, Sparky found the source of the whimper. A tiny field mouse, no bigger than Sparky's lantern, was caught in a tangle of thorny vines. The little mouse's fur was scratched, and his eyes were wide with fear.
"Oh no, you're stuck!"
"I can't get out. It's too dark and I can't see which way to go."
Sparky hovered closer, his glow shining brighter now. "Don't worry, I'll help you. My light can show the way."
Carefully he flew around the vines, lighting the tangled thorns so the mouse could wiggle free. Whenever the mouse moved in the wrong direction, Sparky darted ahead, guiding him with his glow. After a few tries, the little mouse finally pulled himself out, breathing hard but free at last.
"You did it!" Sparky cheered, his own voice trembling with relief.
The mouse looked up at him with wide, grateful eyes. "No, you did it. Without your light, I'd still be stuck. Thank you, little firefly."
Sparky blinked, warmth spreading through his chest. For the first time he realized his glow hadn't been too small. It had been exactly what someone else needed. The mouse introduced himself as Nibble and promised, "If you ever need help, I'll be there. You're braver than you think, Sparky." After Nibble scurried back to his burrow, Sparky hovered in the meadow thinking about what had just happened. His fear of the dark hadn't gone away, but something new had taken root inside him, a spark of courage. His light wasn't useless, it wasn't weak, it was a gift. The next evening, when the other fireflies began their nightly dance, Sparky hesitated only for a moment. Then he spread his wings and flew into the meadow. His glow flickered nervously at first, but then it grew steadier, brighter. His brothers and sisters noticed.
Sparky, you came!
I did, and I think I'm ready to shine.
The fireflies welcomed him, and together they filled the meadow with golden sparks. Sparky wasn't the brightest among them, nor the fastest, but he discovered something special. When others grew tired, his glow often lasted longer, steady and dependable. When little insects or animals wandered in the dark, Sparky was the first to guide them with patience. One night, when the sky darkened under storm clouds and the moon disappeared, the meadow animals grew restless. The owls couldn't see well, the crickets hushed, and even the fireflies dimmed, afraid of the thick shadows. But Sparky kept glowing. He remembered Nibble's frightened eyes, the way his light had shown the way through the thorns.
The dark isn't stronger than me. My glow has a purpose.
He rose above the meadow, shining brighter than ever before. Slowly, the other fireflies gathered around him, encouraged by his courage. Together, they lit the meadow even without the moon, a field of golden sparks standing against the storm. When the clouds finally drifted away and the stars returned, all the creatures of the meadow cheered.
Sparky saved the night. His glow is truly special.
Sparky blushed, but inside he felt taller, braver. He wasn't afraid of the dark anymore. In fact, he had learned something important. The dark only seemed big until someone dared to shine. His glow was small compared to the vast night, yes, but small lights can chase away even the deepest shadows. From then on, Sparky became known as the little firefly with the biggest heart. Whenever someone was lost, afraid, or alone, they looked for his steady light. And Sparky, once the firefly who hid from the dark, now soared joyfully beneath the stars, proud to share his gift. And so in the meadow where shadows once frightened him, Sparky glowed without fear, showing everyone that even the smallest light can make the greatest difference. His glow was never just a flicker, it was hope, courage, and kindness all shining together. And whenever the wind whispered through the tall grass and the stars glittered like friends above, Sparky the firefly danced with his family, no longer hiding, no longer afraid, but glowing brighter than ever, because he finally believed in the gift he had carried all along. Because he finally believed in the gift he had carried all along.